Yes, hello, it's not Sarah, it's me. Hello, yes, welcome to your launch day here on Crafters TV, brought to you by Crafters Companion. My name's George Akid, and it's a launch day on a Sunday. Can you believe it? Where are you in the world? Are you in the UK, USA, or anywhere else? We'd love to having you here. Now, guys, it's a launch day. It's our second anniversary week. We're 2 years old, can you believe it? And we are celebrating in style. Let me tell you about everything that's happening for you over the next few days. And remember, all the giveaways are happening until Thursday, 2nd of September. Now, over the next few days, we are giving away over £250,000 worth of prize giveaways and goodies, yes, including these. You spend over £50, dollars, euros, you're going to get yourself this free notebook. You spend over £100, dollars, or euros, you get yourself this free tumbler for your cold drinks. And if you spend over £150 or dollars or euros, you're going to get both of the items. Now remember, it's while stocks last, and a lot of you have got these already, so make sure you're making those purchases. Plus, as well, on Club Inspire, it's double points on everything, all right? So the more you spend, the more points you're going to get, and you'll be working your way from bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, helping you get that 20% off everything, as well as double points. Plus, there's even more as well. Remember, every show has got its very own prize giveaway, and today is no exception. Now, if you don't want to know how to win, this is what you can be winning. £125 worth of goodies, $180. If you're a Spectrum Noir fan, this is the prize for you. Inks, craft mats, you've got your pads, ink pads, round, square, your daubers. Everything there, is available if you comment in today's show. So all you got to do is get involved with the show. Facebook, YouTube, we want to see them, and we'll be having a look. Now today, like we said, it is a launch day, and Spectrum Noir is going to play a big part in this because it's all about our stencils, a brand new set of stencils. Jan is here. Jan, how excited are you with these stencils?
Oh, honestly, I was here earlier in the week. I said I was coming back today with some stencils, a little bit of mixed media thrown in for good luck, but yeah, brand new set for you today. And these are sort of a two-part stencil with a background detail and then a focal point. So just to give you an idea, we've got 6 different designs in the range, which our George will go through in a bit more detail. But you can see there we've got the baubles, and these are a nice little 4x4 inch design, and then you've got a 5x7 background design. So you can just see how that one's being used there in the background, and again just behind the detail on the front. So that's the baubles. We've also got a Christmas tree in there, and the background on this one just looks like the bits that you would wind round the tree with the lights and everything on. So yeah, inking them up using your mixed media products on them. We're going to try and do a little bit of both during the show. Yeah. Try and get through as many of them as we can. You've got those beautiful bells, and then even in the background there's little tiny bells that you can ink up. You could heat emboss them, lots and lots. I'm going to try and get through as many different techniques as we can during the show for you. Snowflakes on there again, which are not technically Christmas. They'd be nice for winter birthdays or winter celebrations. We've got the holly on there as well, lovely one, but you can see how it's that lovely focal element, and then the background to complement it there behind it. And then the last one, of course, it wouldn't be Christmas without a poinsettia there as well. So again, you can see the detail around the frame here has been done with the background stencil, and then you've got that lovely focal element. Mix and match it with your own sentiments, and you've not really got much else to do on those cards there.
Absolutely, loads of you getting in touch with us already today. Linda D, good afternoon everyone. Linda Davis, hello from Hampton. And Barbara, good morning everyone from Indiana. And Diane, good morning from Illinois. Loads of you getting in touch, and it's great to see you. Right, let me show you this brilliant collection. It's incredible. 6 different designs here, 6 sets of stencils, and there's some beautiful design. Of course, we do Christmas really well at here. You've got the bells are ringing, holly sprigs, perfect poinsettias, Oh Christmas Tree, splendid snowflakes, and baubles and stars. And I tell you what, you are in for an absolute treat with these designs. Within each set of stencils, you are going to get yourself 2 stencils. Like Jan was showing you there, you get the background stencil and you get the foreground stencil. Now, that price you see on the screen today is for the bundle. $23.96, $31.80 for those entire bundle, saving yourself a huge saving. It works out you're getting 4 of the stencils and 2 for free. Alternatively, you can buy them individually. First up, we've got the bells are ringing. Again, like Jan showed, that beautiful detail there within that bells. You've got the £5.99 or $7.95 each for these, or any 2 for £9 or $12. colours. Then you've got the holly sprigs. Again, look at the colours you can do with these. These are going to create some amazing cards, gift tags, or whatever you plan to do with them this Christmas time. These could be for you. Then next you have got this, I think it's my favourite, the perfect poinsettias. Again, £5.99, $7.95. And that platinum price as well, remember, you're getting 20% off extra on that. Then as well, we've also got old Christmas tree. I love that with the baubles in the background, or decorations or ornaments. Again, with a mixture of the bows and that tree. How simple but effective is that as well? And then you've got this, the splendid snowflakes. Wow, just think of what you can create with that. You guys are loving this, and I ain't surprised. And there's also one more to finish off as well. You've got the baubles and stars. Wow, look at that. These stencils can be used for a multitude of things. They can be used together or individually. Each one has there a great set of foregrounds, the backgrounds, everything that you see there. Remember, that price that you see now is for all 6 of those. These brilliant collection, there's 6 designs. And at that price today, like I said, $23.96, $31.80, that incredible saving means that you're buying 4 and you're getting 2 for free. And at that platinum price, remember, if you're a Club Inspire, 20% off extra. If you're brand new to Crafters Companion, like a lot of you are this week, we're meeting a lot of our new customers, and you're yet to make your first purchase, remember, with your first purchase here, you get 20% off your first order, plus an extra 250 bonus points. So if you're brand new to Crafters Companion, also look at that platinum price, because this could be your brand new starting and your brand new introduction to Crafters Companion. But I think these stencils are brilliant, and I can't wait to see them in action. Jan, how much love have we got for these stencils?
Honestly, I've been having a play with these all week, George, and they're really, really nice. And even though it's a Christmas collection, when we go through these, you'll see that some of the backgrounds in particular are pretty much quite generic.
Yes.
So yes, the one that I'm going to use now looks like a tree decoration, but for example, the one behind, let me just think which one it is. The poinsettia has got like a little flower design behind it. And, you know, you could use that sort of at any time. So what we're going to get for our money then, in each particular pack, you've got 2 pieces of stencils. Shows you on the front there what you're getting, and then you've got some inspiration. We're going to keep it fairly simple to start off with. So you've got a background stencil there, which measures 5 by 7 inches. You can just see that one. And then also in the packet, you've got a little foreground stencil, which is a 4-inch square. So you can just see the Christmas tree on that one. So that is, and again, that could be used for lots of different things. You know, it's a fir tree at the end of the day. And then this one, we're going to actually create the background. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple with a background and a topper on this one, just to show you the basic concept. And then with the rest of the demos, as we go through the show, I'm going to try you some different tricks and things and different products to use. So in order to get started then, I've cut myself, and this is a stamping card that I've worked on the majority of the way through the show. You know that it's up for the deal. It's going to take the inks. If you want to add any water products to it, it will work with that as well. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of low tack tape and attach this to the actual stencil here so that it's not going to move out of the way. Now, if you prefer, you can coat the back of them with your stick and spray, which is your semi-permanent adhesive. So it will stick down to the cardstock and then it will peel away again. So whatever your preferred working method is, I like to just pop a little bit of tape at the top here and make like a hinge. Yeah. I've got a bit too much. I've got a bit giddy with my tape there. I don't want to cover up any of the design. But yeah, we're just going to pop it in the stencil area, and then I'm going to fold it around the back of the card so that I've basically got the means to check how I'm getting on, but then I can lay this back down and it'll go back in exactly the same space. And to start with, we're just going to start out with some of the Harmony inks. Now again, any of your inks will work with the stencils. You know me, if you've watched me before, you know that the pigment inks are my favourites, but you could do this with your water reactive inks, you could do it with your quick dry inks, either will work. And for the background, I'm going to work with 2 separate colour families. I'm going with the Bordeaux, which is the darkest one of the red family, and Plum Jam, which is the darkest one of the pink family. So just to get started then, we're going to start with the Bordeaux. She says, having lost I think my daub has decided to roll away. We'll use this one. I've got them all out ready and it's gone here one already, but we'll use this one. So again, just going to load up that applicator. So I've got the round applicators here, which we've got on the show for you. We also do the rectangular ones. They will both do the same job. So whatever your preference is. I, just as a general rule, tend to use the round ones for smaller areas and the rectangular ones if I'm doing sort of a background blend where I want to cover a lot more surface area. But it is only a very general rule. Sometimes I'll pick up whatever is closest. And then the other thing I'm going to grab is a little bit of tissue just to hold the stencil, and in an attempt, and I'll say it sort of tongue-in-cheek, in an attempt not to get covered in ink, but who knows, by the end of the show we can guarantee I will be covered in ink, because it happens. So again, all I'm doing now is light pressure and little circular motions, just holding that stencil in place.
Yeah.
Okay, and pushing, because this is a sponge applicator, it will push through your stencil and it'll actually start to put that design through onto the cardstock. So again, just be mindful of the shape of your stencil. So for example, this one's got quite long lines in it.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure I'm just tipping the sponge applicator onto its side so that that edge goes into those little lines. So just think about what shapes you're actually working with.
Yeah, of course.
If you prefer to pounce through your stencil, you can do it that way. But I tend to sort of go through gently to start with, and then you can build up the colour just by going over it a second time. And I'm going to work my way all the way down the stencil there in the red to start off with. It's like a sort of a claret wine colour, isn't it?
Absolutely.
This one? It's beautiful. It's got the right name.
A lot of love coming in for these stencils today. A lot of love for yourself, Vicky Kennedy on Facebook. I love stencils. Can't wait to see what Jan does with these. Aisha on Facebook. Hello again, everyone. Watching it on the big TV so I can get some cleaning and organising done. And Evelyn on Facebook. I love that Jan is doing this launch. She always has different ideas for what you can make. And Carolyn on Facebook. Hi, all from Edinburgh. Chilly here today, so I'd like to watch Jan this afternoon. My favourite demonstrator, as she's an amazing teacher.
Oh, thank you.
Very
That's
nice
lovely,
comments.
guys. Thank
very
you very
nice.
much.
And that's very close. And look at
I do try my best to try and bring you some different ideas, because, you know, a stencil's a stencil at the end of the day. And if you go back, I was thinking, you'll see later on, if you stay with me for the whole show, it actually took me back to my childhood, because I used to love stencils. I used to love writing through them with a pen. And I thought, well, why not? Let's have a go. So one of the samples that I'm going to do, one of the demos, I've actually got some of my fine liner pens out, and we're literally going to draw in the stencil. So there are so many different things. I've brought some of my Cosmic Shimmer products. I've got some chalk paint. I've got some texture paste. We're going to use that later as well.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea then how we're getting on, with that hinge on, you can actually lift up and have a look. Now, I've got a little bit of smudging because I got a bit giddy at the beginning and started rubbing it round a bit.
Yeah.
But I've got one that I've done earlier, of course. And then what I'm going to do is just to pick out the little bows. If you look on here, we've got mainly baubles, but every so often there's a gorgeous little bow on that decoration. So because it's only tiny, I've brought my finger daubers, which you've seen me use before, and I'm going to get the one that corresponds to that plum jam. And because it's just a little tiny area, I just want to go over, and I'm just going to take away a bit of that red ink so that I don't contaminate. And I want to just highlight and bring those little bows out a bit brighter in the pink, just so that they stand out. So I'm just going to rub away a bit of the red ink so that it doesn't get on my ink pad. And then just literally, because it's a tiny area and I don't want it to mix with the rest of the stencil, just swapped to that little ink dauber, and it's the perfect size to just get into those little sort of nooks and crannies there. So last one at the bottom there, get rid of a bit of the red and push that through. Now, it doesn't make a massive difference, but when I take that away now, you'll see that we've highlighted just that little bit, and it's just a bit darker where the bows are. Okay. Now, as far as your stencils are concerned, they're all made from good quality mylar. So you've got several options with regards to cleaning them. Now, you've seen me do it before where you can create a ghost image.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, I'll just show you on this first one. If you've got a piece of spare card, okay, to clean the stencil, I would probably use something like a baby wipe, but there's still a lot of ink left on here. So just by popping it onto a piece of spare card and actually cleaning my stencil, you're actually pushing through any residue into the background onto your card. And the reason I called it a ghost image is because it's very, very light compared to what we've just done. So you can see we've got pretty much a clean stencil,
Nice.
but you're going to get some image that you might want to use in some of your backgrounds and things like that. So I usually end up with tons of these where I've, and then go back, you can die cut into them, you can pop, you know, sort of your sentiments and that through them. But yeah, if not, just pop your stencils, if you've got a little water bath handy, so I just use a box lid with a little bit of warm soapy water in, pop them all in there until you finish your crafting and then just give them a wipe over, or they'll just run under a warm tap and they come up nice and clean. You can see there it's all back to normal and then it's good to go back in the packet. So that's our background one. And then we're going to bring in the little tree as a topper as effect. I'm going to make a topper to go over it.
Yeah.
So again, stamping card at the ready. I've used tons of it for these demos. It works brilliantly. You could also use watercolour card and you could also use Nina cardstock. They will all work, but I find the stamping cards a good weight for when you start adding essentially what is a wet product with the ink.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to get a little bit of tape and just tack that on to keep it in place. So again, make sure you're not covering up your detail in your stencil, and then just tuck it round the back so that you've got that opportunity to see how you're getting on with it. And this time we're going to go to the green topaz
Nice.
and smoked emerald. So these are the mid-tone and the dark tone from that lovely frosted green shades. It's not the grass green one, it's the frosted one. So again, I've got some of my blending tools at the ready. They are the opaque inks. I think most of what I've used today are opaque. I think there's the odd water reactive ink in there, but again, any of the inks that you've got. And again, push it through that stencil. As long as you're holding it in place, you can see that that ink goes through beautifully. Okay. It may be that you want to do this in a watermark ink.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to do that later, where you push the ink through and then emboss over the top of it. And again, you know, you could be adding a nice sort of glittery, sparkly green embossing powder here. Would look stunning over this one. So that's the green topaz, and then I'm just going to take the emerald, which is slightly darker, and just from the bottom of those branches there, again, just hold this in place. I'm just going to flick that ink up from the bottom, and it's not a lot, but it just gives the illusion that there's some depth going on there.
Yeah.
And it's surprising what it is simple, and that's what I love about the stencils, George. If you're just starting out your journey in crafting, this is a great way to make some really good sort of projects for very little effort. You know, you don't need a die cutting machine. It can all be done without the aid of a die cutting machine. And then again, when we lift this one off now, you can see, look how crisp.
Wow, so easy.
And can you just see where it's just that little bit darker at the bottom to give it some sort of depth? Okay, so I have done exactly that at home. I would treat that one just the same as what we've done with the first one. So I'll pop that one over there. And I've done just that at home. So if I bring the background back in, see where we got to with this one. I've done exactly the same and mounted it on a little bit of red matte mirror card there. Yeah. And I've just highlighted a couple of the bows with a couple of little tiny gems. I don't know whether you can see them there. They're just in the centres, yeah? So that's going to be my background. And then I've done exactly the same. So this is what we started out with the stencil. But again, once you start matting and layering, and then I've just added a few little gems on there, has taken it from just a plain topper to something that's got a little bit of texture.
Yeah.
So literally keeping this one as simple as that. So my card is actually 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay. And I'm going to go onto the back of here with a tape pen. And I've put a brand new one in because I'm known for tape pens running out on me, George. And whenever I come up here, I nearly always end up with one running out. So I thought, right, I'm going to get a brand new one out of the box this morning. I get through them like nothing on earth. But double-sided tape is enough to keep these in place. Yep. And literally create that background. That one's going to go on first. And then I've put some foam tape on the back of the topper. So we're just going to, yeah, we're good. Me and foam tape as well, as I've got a love-hate relationship, George. Sometimes it comes off for me, sometimes it doesn't. We're doing all right. We're only on demo 1, but we'll see how we go. There we go, look. And okay, and then I'm just going to pop, and again, you know, you can decide. I'm actually just going to pop this one at a little angle, and that's why I only put gems on these two, because the others are actually going to disappear under there. But we can live with that for this particular one. And then have a look in your stash. All the sentiments that I've used today are from the set that was the, they were the gorgeous stamps and sentiments set that we brought out for all the Christmas ones. I'm trying to think of the name of the range. Were they floral? Christmas floral ones or something like that. Wasn't it? Yeah. So May Your Days Be Merry and Bright, which suited that one perfectly. So we're going to pop that one at the bottom there, and then I've just got my glue gun on there just to add a little bow at the bottom. Oh, very
nice.
And again, you know, we've all got bits of ribbon lying about. Hoard it if it's anything like me. I love buying ribbon, and I've got it all in different coloured drawers so that I know what colour I can go to. And again, just keep it really, really simple, but again, no die cutting. Just simply the stencils and a little bit of matting and layering, and you can see there how they've come together beautifully.
Absolutely, so simple, and a lot of this. A lot of you guys going, oh, I want to try stencil. I want to try stencil. Rachel's asked on Facebook, I've not really done any stenciling before. Will I need to get loads of ink pads, Jan? What would you say about that?
Use what you've got. You know, I've chosen to use inks for a lot of these because they do lend themselves, but just buy just some of the basic colours to get you started. You don't need a whole section of them. Yeah, how I did that two-tone on the green when we did the tree here, it could just be plain green. You know, you just need one shade of green. It's just because I've got the set that I can add the shading in, you know. So I would go for sort of primary colours, secondary colours, and maybe a black one, something like that. And then of course you can mix inks as well. So if you put out a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow and mix them with your applicator, you're going to make an orange, you know. So there's ways around things if you're just starting out. And then if you decide that you like it, then you can start and build on those and make it into a range for you to use in the future.
Brilliant, thank you for that, Jen. Yeah, you know, always a great start. But with this stencil deal today, remember the 6-piece collection at that incredible price, $23.96, being launched today, brand new. You've not seen these before. A lot of you go, I've not seen these. That's right, because it's a launch day. Brand new to us here today, $31.80. And remember that platinum price. It works out. You're buying 4 and you get 2. Remember, we've also got that wonderful multi-buy option. If you just want to buy a couple of these or buy one, remember, you can buy 2 for, let me remind you that incredible price that you can buy them for. You can buy 2 for £9.12 today. So if that's for you, want to buy a couple of them, then that's a great offer for you today. But you just saw Jan there using those wonderful applicators. We've got some more deals for you. Yes, it's a launch day, but maybe applicators are your thing. Let's have a look at this. Now you've got the wonderful blending refill collection, okay? So you've got 10 square refills, you've got 10 circular refills, and the blending sponges as well. There you are, £10, $13. You're saving yourself over 20% today at £10, $13. Then next, if you want something else, we've also got this incredible deal for you as well, where you get the crafting mat with it. You're also going to get the, we're getting circles or rectangles. There we are. So we've got circles, there we are, and you've also got the circular refills. Head to the website for this one if you like the circular dibs. It works out that you're getting the refills for absolutely free. And you also got the square one as well. It comes with a mat, it comes with the square, stand, and you also got the refills as well. Brilliant for you if you want to have an introduction, helping get the right tools to get you started. Remember, head to the website if you want more details on that. Let's have a look at what else you guys are saying at all. Eve B on YouTube, look how cute and that it was and so easy it was, that wonderful Christmas tree card. Joanne on Facebook, good morning all. Can I watch about 30 minutes of the show, but 30 minutes with the Jan can bring a wealth of knowledge. A lot of you saying that already. And Julie on Facebook, another full day of card making ahead while watching my friends at Crafters TV. Well, Julie, it's great to have you here and every single one of you. Remember, it's our crafting anniversary, 2nd anniversary here at Crafters TV. Loads of prize giveaways. If you comment in today's show, you've got the chance of winning yourself that amazing Spectrum Noir bundle, which has loads of inks in there and loads of applicators as well. So maybe you win that today, and that'd be the introduction to your stenciling journey. But how good would these brand new stencils be in your life? Remember, that 6-piece collection, you've got 6 great designs in there. Let me remind you what you've got in your designs there. You have got the bells are ringing, holly sprigs, perfect poinsettias, oh Christmas tree, splendid snow snowflake, baubles and stars. $23.96, $31.80, or you got a multi-buy option for 2 for £9 or $12. What an incredible collection. You guys are going crazy for this, and I ain't surprised. You get that foreground image and that background image as well. Right, Jan, let's have a look what you're going to be making for us next.
We're going to have a look at bells are ringing next, George. So again, this is one of the ones that I was talking about with the generic sort of, yes, it's got bells on the background stencil, but how about using that for a wedding card or for an anniversary or something like that? Again, not typically Christmas, I don't think. So there is a little bit of sort of usage out of these all year round. And then again, you've got those gorgeous bells on there, which are beautiful. Yes, there's a bit of mistletoe here, but there's no reason why you can't mask that out if you wanted to use it, for example, for a wedding card or an anniversary card. Just mask out where the mistletoe is and do the bells and the ribbon. So you've got a little bit of versatility. Although we're launching them as a Christmas stencil collection, I think anything that's got that bit of extra value to it is worth having. So this time, even though my stencil is 5x7, I've actually gone for a piece of card that's square. So I don't want you to think that because we've given you that format of 5x7 with a 4-inch topper that you've got to go for that design every time. I want to try and show you different aspects of that. So I've just taken a piece this time that measures 5¼ inch square for my project. And what I've done is I've made a mask just literally by using one of my circle dies and cutting it from a piece of sticky note. So this bit's actually stuck down. So essentially with anywhere that a mask is, you're not going to get the ink. It's blocking out that area so that the ink just goes round the outside. Not bothered if I get ink on it, but it's protecting that circle underneath. Yeah. Could be anything. It could have been a square. You could cut it out with one of your fancy shaped dies, whatever you've got. Again, we're going to pop this one over the top and just do that same technique again, whereby wherever you want to pop this, just have a look and get that tape, making sure that you avoid your actual stencil design and get it stuck down. Alternatively, like I said at the top of the show, if you prefer to actually spray the back of them with the temporary adhesive, and you know then that you've actually got a proper finish with them. So I'm going to stay with the inks for now, and I've actually picked up a couple of the lilac ones this time. So we've got Pale Fig, which is the lightest, and Damson Wine, which is the darkest. I've sort of skipped that middle area. So I'm going to make the background with the pale one first. So again, I'm still sticking with those round applicators while I'm using the whole stencil. Load up that sponge with your ink. Just make sure we're good to go, and then holding it in place again. And again, just little circles, little bit of pressure on there. Now my piece of cardstock's actually slightly wider than the stencil. So I'm going to try my best to avoid the edges. Yeah. But I'm not too worried if it does go over the edge, and you could always trim it down. Absolutely. If it's bothering you that you've got ink down the edges. So again, sometimes you might need to just tip your applicator to its side so that you can push it into those little areas. And just be aware, you know, that there are some fine cut pieces on those stencils, so just take care with them not to damage them when you're inking. So again, I'm going to go all the way around with the lighter purple, turn it round so that I can get to it rather than trying to get to silly angles. And I'm just holding the paper on it, as I say, in an attempt not to get covered in ink too quickly. It happens. I was just getting ready for the show and managed to stick my finger in one of the inks because the top had come off, and I thought, I haven't even gone on air yet.
Covered in the ink.
I'm just attracted to it. It just jumps on me.
A lot of love for this technique, Jan, that you showed here with this masking off the stencil. A lot of people have never done that before. I'll
show you why I've done that when we come to obviously the bit that I've prepared for you. We're going to actually stamp in the middle of there. So again, it's just creating a different look. Okay, so again, just push that lighter one through. Then I'm going to swap. Again, I like to use 2 shades, but the lady that was just asking, that said she was just starting out, you know, it's fine. If I lift this up now, it's absolutely fine as it is. It's just because I've got access to those different colours that I'm actually going to take the darker one and just sort of go round the corners to give it a little bit of dimension again. So just a little bit. I'm going to leave the central area with the lighter shade, and then just bring this one in into those corners to create like almost as if you've, like when we're inking our backgrounds and things like that.
Wendy's asking on Facebook, could you use the alcohol markers on a glass mat to get those colours for your stencil?
Alcohol markers. I wouldn't go with an alcohol marker. The watercolour markers would work perfectly like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you've seen us use the watercolour markers with glycerin. And that makes them into an ink. So you can scribble your colour out and then add a tiny bit of glycerin with your sponge applicators. And you can pick up the ink, and the glycerin keeps the ink what we call open, so it stays wet, and then you can work through here.
Nice.
If you've got things like our aqua markers. The trouble with the alcohol, even scribbling them on here, is the minute that your alcohol's evaporated, which it still would do, you've got a dry product on your glass mat. So I think, having said that, I'm going to incorporate alcohol markers later on. So stay watching if you can manage. So again, you can see now where we've got sort of that lighter halo around the middle, and I did manage to get it on the edges, look, and just slightly darker. But when we take the mask away now, we've got that beautiful area in the middle here.
So good.
That's actually nice and crisp. Okay, so that's going to be my main background. So I'm going to pop that one to one side again, pop that on my cleaning pile. And then I've also taken a smaller piece again to do those little bells. So we're going to do the same idea again, and we are going to make a topper with it this time like we did last time.
Yep.
But I'm going to incorporate more than one colour. So with the tree, we just stayed with the green, but this time I'm going to show you how we can get different colours involved. So you can either use masking tape, I just use the low tack tape, and actually mask out areas that you don't want to catch. So for example, I'm going to start with the bells. So I'm just going to cover up these pieces at the side and the bow. In fact, I'm going to do the bow in the darker purple, so it doesn't matter too much if I get ink on the bow section. So just literally across the top like so, because I just want to work in this area.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come back in, and you might think, well, I've never seen a purple bell, Jan, but you know, it's artistic license.
Absolutely.
You can go with whatever colour you want. So again, just the same technique, pushing that ink through the stencil there into those spaces on your pattern. So we're going to have a very pale sort of lilac bell going on, and then I'm going to take the tape away from the bow because we want the bow element, but I'm going to mask out as much as I can of where that mistletoe and the berries are. Okay, so just to pop that one, I've got a little bit of tape there covering the bow, so let's just move that one down a wee bit.
Yeah.
So I'm essentially covering up the bits that I want to come back to with the greening.
Absolutely. Getting the most out of the stencil.
Yeah, then I'm going to bring that damson wine back again, which was the darker one. And because we're going for a slightly smaller area, I'm going to come back with the little finger daubers. These are really handy.
Yeah.
Just for those little delicate areas. So again, nice and gentle where that bow is. If you want to mask out the bells, you can. I'm used to sort of working with them, so just getting it where you want it to go.
Remember, if you're on YouTube, we can come back and watch the show at a later date. Remember, you can save the shows and create your own personal playlist. So if you have ordered these stencils today, and when they do arrive, you need some ideas and some inspiration, this show is going to be around for a very, very long time. So make sure you save it, and when they finally arrive, you can have some inspiration like Jan is doing, and like Mary Lee is on YouTube. She's done the exact same, saving it for when they arrive so she can get some great inspiration.
So I'm just going to take away some of that excess ink so that I don't contaminate my green, because I'm going to swap to the grasshopper ink now, and I've got pine tree, which is the darkest green, and again I'm staying with the relative finger dauber. I've got one for each of the ink colours, and I'm now going to take away the rest of that tape that we had covering the mistletoe, because I want to add the green ink into those spaces. So wherever I popped the tape to mask it earlier, we can now take that back off again. Okay, and then just make sure everything's lined up, and then we're going to go through those last little bits and just push the ink through the green area. And I'm not too worried if there's a little bit of overspill from some of the other colours. It all adds to that kind of stenciled effect. And again, the berries I'm not worried about. I'm going to go over the top of the berries as well. And if you want to really mask it off in detail and do those in a red, absolutely fine. But in this instance, I'm just going to leave them all. In fact, I think mistletoe berries are white, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So if you wanted to leave that element, you could just use a very pale, like a pale grey or something.
Yeah.
Because obviously they wouldn't show up if you didn't put any ink through there. So when we take this one off again now, whoops, just to lift that stencil out, you can see now we've got a really nice little compilation, which again, you know, without the mistletoe, it would make a lovely sort of, as I say, like a wedding card or something like that. So again, I'm just going to pop the stencils to one side. They can all be cleaned in that same way. And then I'm going to show you again where I've got to with these, excuse me, at home. So the one that we kept the centerpiece free in, again, I've matted and layered just on some coordinating cardstock, and I've stamped from one of my stamp sets in the centre of there. Now, if you make this mask slightly bigger, you can actually get the whole image in the centre of the design for the background. And I think the ones that you had on the boards, George, were done like that. So I'm sure we'll be able to have a look at those later in the show. But all it was is just leaving a slightly larger area masked out that's big enough to then take this straight onto what would essentially be a one-layer card then. So that was the background. And then I've also done the same, just matted and layered, and I've used that base stencil, the background one, very, very lightly, just on the corners here, because I thought this looked very sort of white on that background. So just to bring it into match, little tiny bit just round the corners, just with that pale lilac ink, just to sort of bring it all together. And again, matted and layered it. And then we're literally just going to do a fold back card this time. So I started out with 5 3/4 square, and literally scored it at 2 7/8, which is my halfway point, and folded that back. I've added a couple of little gems at the ready. And this time, rather than layering them over the top of each other, we're actually going to put this one in the back of the card. So again, I can bring my tape pen in. I don't think I didn't put anything on the back. Sometimes I get giddy and put tape on the back of them, but
get excited.
I do. I get sort of over prepped.
Yeah.
But the tape pens are perfect because you're not adding a lot of weight here. It is just literally matting and layering. The tape pens work beautifully for this. So that one's going to go in the background, and then we're going to bring this one. I have done tape on this one, look, because it just wants to go on that one side. So when the card's closed, it's actually obscuring that sentiment. But then when we open it, you've got that lovely surprise in that there's details in the back of there. So let's just take the tape off there, the liner off the tape.
Sherry on Facebook says, I've just placed my order. Sit back and watch now, because there's some great ideas coming through today.
And then all I'm doing is just sort of, oh, she says, let go. Just going to eyeball around here so that I've got about the same distance all the way. So it's almost centred in the centre of the two parts of your card. So I think there's about good. Okay.
Love that.
And again, you've got that lovely sort of greeting in the centre there. So I haven't bothered with a greeting on the outside. All I have done, I've got a little tiny die at home that makes the bows. It's one of mine out of my stash. And I just felt as if it needed something there. So I've literally just popped a little bit of tape on there. And we're just going to add that as a final embellishment just at the bottom there, and that's in the same card as what I've done the matting and layering there. So again, sort of using that same process. So we started out using the 5x7 and the main focal point as a topper. This time we've sort of reduced it to a square design, and we've added extra colour to that topper there to give you a full back card on that one.
Perfect. Look at that. Stunning. Again, that is from this wonderful brand new collection that we're launching today, the Christmas Stencils 6-piece collection. Some great designs in there. Now let me take you through the individual designs that you can get. Now remember that beautiful price there at $23.96, $31.80, and that incredible platinum price as well, 20% off. But you can buy them individually. Let's go through the wonderful designs. You've got here, you've got the bells are ringing. You saw Jan using that there, that beautiful design there, the bells are ringing. And then you've got the holly sprigs. Again, stunning as always, the greens and reds on that as well. Then you've got the perfect poinsettias. I can't say that word. That one, that's the one. Thank you, I love it. And the O Christmas tree, all priced at £5.99, £7.95, or you've got a wonderful multi-buy option of two for £9 or $12. Then you've got the splendid snowflakes. And finally, baubles and stars. Again, some great designs there. And as you can see, so many different options with them. There's loads of inks and stuff for you to use to create these beautiful designs that you see here, including the matte and chalks. Loads of chalk. Shall I get these up, Georgina? Shall I show? Let me shout the colours. I've got loads of them under here for you. Once I can get them, and no, my look, I'm going to drop them and they're going to go everywhere. You've got the matte and chalk polish. So good, so different. First of all, starting off with this beautiful, I can't find the colour now after all that, baby pink matte chalk. The baby pink matte chalk there for you. A great addition to any colour. You've got the beautiful custard matte chalk. I love that. Debbie was using that last night on the Dreamies launch as well, that lovely custard. Then you've got that great pale grey as well, pale grey colour. Stunning colours. You've got the sky blue as well in there as well. All £5.75 or $9.99. And then there's also a few more finishing off. You've got wisteria as well, a great colour, and you've got the Harbour Haze as well. Some great chalk polishes there for you. More on our website. Head to the website, head there, and you can look at the show. We've also got metallic inks for you as well. Let me just move these out of the way, because I'll tell you what, we've got some brilliant metallic inks as well for you today. The metallic inks, okay, great deal for you today on this price. You get 4, you get 1 for free on this one, the metallic inks. They are absolutely stunning, a great price. $41.95, 10-piece collection. Sorry, wrong ones. It's the 10-piece collection. My bad on this one. A great saving on this. And the way we've done this, the way we've designed this, guys, is you're buying 6, you're getting 4 for free. Yes, you see the 6, you get 4 for free. Paying for that price, and you get them ones for absolutely free. Let me remind you of the colours. You get the antique bronze, the ancient bronze, aged copper, burnished copper, green citrine, gold plate, and these are the ones that you get for free. These ones here, the pewter, you also get the rose gold, silver ignet, and tarnished silver. That is there for $41.94, $59.94. A great collection that you're seeing there. Listen, we've got more demos to come. Check out your baskets. A lot of you are getting these today because you know how good these are. We'll see you on the other side of this.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Yes, welcome back to your launch day here on Crafters TV. Happy Sunday wherever you are. And we're in the middle of our 2nd anniversary year on Crafters TV. Come tonight, that's it, we're halfway through the week already on Crafters TV celebrating the anniversary week. Prize giveaways throughout the show. Remember, spend £50, dollars, euros, you get that free notebook, £100, dollars, tumbler, 150, you get both of those items, limited stock while stock lasts. If you want them, make sure you're spending because you need them in your life, I'm sure you do. And today we're launching this beautiful set of brand new stencils. Now, some great things to complement these. The Gilding Wax collection, it's a stunning collection here, $47.96. $67.96. Works out that price that you're buying 4, you're getting 1 for free. Let's go through those colours. You've got the King Gold, Antique Gold, the Gold itself, the Renaissance and Silver as well. It works that you're getting the Silver for free. Platinum price there and double points across everything here on Crafters over the next few days as we celebrate again. But we're here today for the main thing, our brand new stencil collection. 6 incredible designs here in the collection. Brand new, launched today. You've got the Christmas tree, the snowflakes, you've got the baubles, you've got the jingle bells, and you've also got sprig of holly and those perfect poinsettias as well. A great collection which you guys are loving for. And that incredible price today, you're buying 4, you're getting 2 for 3, $23.96, $31.80. You can buy them individually, and we've got a great multi-buy option on that as well. You buy 2 for £9 or $12. A great collection, loads of these. No, listen, get them because you know what happens with our launch days. We launch them within a few hours, they're all sold out, and I hate for you to miss out. A great collection. You're getting the foreground and the background stencil with each 12 different stencils within the entire collection. Jan is here in the studio and loving playing with these today, aren't you, Jan?
I do. I like a good stencil. I think they're a little bit underrated, George. They sort of go in that same compartment as embossing folders.
Yeah.
We all get sort of carried away with all our die cutting, and me personally, I'm a stamper, so I like my stamping and colouring. But I just think these are a great addition and a very affordable little bundle today. And as I said earlier, it's like this one, I've got the Splendid Snowflakes to use next, which is sort of, we include it in our Christmas range because over here, our Christmas falls through that winter period where we do get plenty of snowflakes. But again, you know, winter birthdays, winter celebrations, anything like that, it could be used for. There's nothing else really that denotes Christmas other than that it is a wintry feel to it. So again, you've got that lovely 5x7 stencil that's got an array of different style snowflakes on there. Beautiful.
Love that.
Just on its own, I think would be gorgeous. And then you get that really nice sort of focal one again, which is a nice design. It's really been thought out. It's nice and symmetrical. So again, we're going to use the 2 parts, and I'm going to do some resist technique this time. So I've stayed with the same format. I've got my 2 pieces of stamping card again. We're going to make a topper out of the snowflake, but we're going to include some embossing powder. And this one I'm going to use as a resist. So we're going to do the embossing first and then add the colour over the top so that the embossing powder resists the ink. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, let's have a go and I'll show you. So again, I'm going to tape that folder in place just so that I know that it's anchored on my work. And again, just very, very sort of light there at the top, fold it round the back. And then because we're going to start embossing, I'm going to treat it to my little embossing buddy. So this one's actually, whenever I'm doing any kind of heat embossing, I usually add this. And it's full of like a chalky substance. If you haven't come across one of these before, it's intended to get rid of any static. So where we're handling the card and you're constantly picking things up, the oils from your skin and things like that get on the card without you even realising. And embossing powder will stick to absolutely anything it can get its hands on. So just by doing this and rubbing it into the surface of the card, it's helping to reduce that happening. Now I'm going to work with a white embossing powder, so it's not too bad today. But if you were using black, for example, you sometimes find that you get lots of little black speckles where you don't want them, not on the design. This does help to alleviate that a little bit. And then be careful not to touch your surface when you've done that. So again, I've closed that hinge, popped it down. down, and this time we're going to use the translucent watermark ink. So mine's not very clean. I do apologise because it's been loved well, but actually it did me a favour because I could see where I'd inked, whereas normally when it's clear it's quite difficult, and especially to show you guys on TV you think, well, she's not actually done anything because you can't see it. And then I'm going to use that along with some white embossing powder. So we're doing white on white, so it won't be obvious straight away what's happening. I'm just going to grab some more tissue again, just so that we've got something to hold it with.
Yep.
And this time, your sticky ink is on a really, really soft, spongy surface, so we can actually press this into the stencil. So I'm just going to use the ink pad direct to the card this time.
Nice.
And literally push it and work it through the details in that stencil. And what I effectively want is the whole stencil design actually on my cardstock, but in that sticky ink, so that it will attract the embossing powder there. So all the way down, and it's just a case of being methodical with it. If yours is a new ink pad and it's not easy to see, go across it in lines so that you can tell which bit you've done and where you've got to. As I say, the fact that mine is a little bit stained, it's actually turning my card just a slightly different colour.
Yeah.
So if you have got one that's a little bit dirty, it still does the same job, but it's giving you a guide as to where you've inked up there. So again, moving it down, I'm holding the stencil down underneath and then literally just working my way around. Okay, just to push all that ink through the stencil, and it just takes a couple of minutes to get it all going. Make sure that you've gone all the way over it, and if for any reason you do miss some, once you've actually added the powder and heat set it, you can go back over the top and do this again. So if, for example, you've got a little bit that you'd missed that didn't receive any ink, don't worry about it because you can go back and do it afterwards.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do that last bit. And I just keep turning my ink pad round because obviously by pressing on it, it's squeezing ink out. So I'm literally just keep turning it so that I'm using different parts of the ink pad to make sure that it's still juicy enough to push through that stencil. So I think we're pretty good there. We'll take it at that. I can always redo it.
Absolutely.
And again, I'll show you now, because my ink pad's slightly stained, you can just pick up a very faint design going on there. So what we're going to do now then is, without touching where the sticky ink is, get rid of the stencil, and then I will use this one just to catch my embossing powder. In fact, I'd be better with a piece of card, I think, rather than the tissue. So you just want something to catch your embossing powder on, and then we're literally going to cover this.
Wow.
And you think, oh my goodness, she'll have none left. But honestly, the majority of this goes back in the actual tub. So everywhere you've got that sticky ink now is going to collect a little bit of the embossing powder.
That's gorgeous.
Now our Georgina in my ear is a step ahead of me because she's getting very excited about my my non-existent heat tool. Have you come across this, George?
Yes, it's the one that doesn't make a sound, isn't
Honestly, it just fascinates everybody to death. So I'm just going to take that bit of tape off there as well.
You're inspiring people again, Jan. Someone's going, I never thought of using embossing powder through a stencil before.
Oh, absolutely. And as I say, this one's for a resist technique. There's no reason why you couldn't use gold embossing powder on the back here. I know they do some beautiful white with glitter in, sparkle embossing powders. That would look fantastic on the snowflakes. So we've actually got now, if I just tilt this, you can see now that that's collected all that pattern now with the white embossing powder. So I just need a couple of seconds now to heat that up and melt it.
That's all right.
So I'm going to put my heat tool on, and it is turned on, it is making a noise, but I want to get it up to temperature. So it's better to just give it a second or two to get up to its maximum temperature.
Yeah.
The less time that you have the heat on the card, the less chance of it warping. Because we all know that when you heat cardstock, it does tend to sort of warp it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Now, whether you heat from above or below is irrelevant in this case. It is just preference. Because I'm going to ink over the top of it, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to aim my heat tool at this corner here, and I'm hoping our Charlotte's on it at the ready. Look, she's poised at the ready, and I'm just going to hold it in one place And it's going to go from being sort of like a dusty opaque to a really nice shiny white. And in that corner, I can see it going now there in the corner. And then once it's turned, move over to the next part of your design, because if you hold the heat tool on it too long, all it will do is sink back into your card.
Yeah.
And when you finish, you think, well, there should be a raised surface, but there's nothing there. It's purely that you've heated it too long. So I'm literally just chasing that design all the way around, and I can see now under the lights here that it's going nice and shiny, so I know when it's actually been melted.
You can see it happening.
You never tire of this.
No.
I've been doing this for years because I love stamping and I love embossing, and I still, even now, it still wows me that there's a little bit of magic involved. It's like a bit of alchemy going on.
Yeah.
And
Love
again,
that.
Just imagine that in those lovely glitter embossing powders. It would be stunning, wouldn't it? Look very sort of like icicle-y.
Absolutely. Julie on Facebook, I appreciate being taught so many ways to use the same products. It shows how versatile these stencils are. And Vicky Cook on YouTube, I've just ordered the stencil collection along with the new cutting plates and hunky dory, adorable scorable. Guys, you guys are loving this today. And like you said, there's so many options that you can do with these stencils. They're not just about inking, there's so many more levels. Sue Alex on YouTube, could you still do this with the opaque pads? Stencil. You could stencil with the opaque pads, couldn't you? Of course you could.
Yes, of course you could. Yes, you could actually bake this. So if you wanted this to be coloured, I could have actually gone through with one of my ink pads, because the opaque inks, and that is their main purpose, is they stay wet. In artistic terms, it's what we call stay open. The colour stays open.
Yeah.
All it means is it stays wet long enough for it to grab your embossing powder. Now, it's not as successful with the water reactive inks because they're made for blending, and the quick dry inks literally do what they say on the tin. You've seen us demo it and rub the quick dry ink. This would just literally slide off. So you either want something that's sticky like the watermark one, or you want the colour, depending on the outcome. I wanted the snowflakes to be white, and I'm now going to add the colour into the background, and the snowflakes will resist. I can wipe off the ink. If you wanted the blue ink, then yes, by all means, where we did the inking through the stencil in the colour, and then you could add a clear embossing powder over the top. I'm going to do a little bit of that when we do the topper to show you what I mean with the difference, okay? So back to this one now. If I just tilt this now, you can just see all those beautiful white snowflakes on there. And they're all dry now. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a sort of, not just gentle, to get rid of any residue of that anti-static powder.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to come in with a selection of inks. So we've got all the turquoises going on. We're going to use the two lighter colours on the background, and then I'm going to go really dramatic with the dark one on the snowflake for the main image.
Yeah.
So pop that one to one side for a second, and then we need the light one first. Again, staying with those round blenders. You could use the rectangular ones. I just happen to have these in my stash at home. And again, I'm just going to take it and do sort of a couple of different colours. So we're going to put the light one, and I'm just lightly rubbing over the top. And it will attract the ink when you first start. You think, well, it doesn't look as white as it did, but just bear with me. So again, we're going to go with a little bit of the Oasis, which is the lighter one. And I like to sort of work in sets of 3. So I'm going to do top corner, and then I'm going to come in from this side, just working it into the cardstock. And it's stamping card that I've used again. Yeah. It stands up to the job. I want them to change the name to all-purpose cardstock. Yeah. Because we do, you know, it's great for making your card blanks with. It's brilliant for sort of stamping and colouring on, and it's great for this kind of technique as well. So it's not just for stamping. Excuse me.
Excuse you, Jem. Peggy Brown on Facebook, Crafters TV has made me a crafting companion addict. There's no patch for that, unfortunately. Tricia Love on YouTube, got my stencils, and I'm so excited to try them with all these techniques. Jane Johnson YouTube, all the stencils, such a reasonable price and lovely. Of course they are. But you know, that price today, remember, it works out, there's 6 different designs, there's 6 packs. At that price today, you're saving yourself a great deal because you're getting 4, and it works out you're getting 2 for free on that. There is that multi-buy option as well. You can buy them them individually and you get 2 for £9, $12. Alternatively, if you want all of them, if you're looking at them going, well, a couple of them, I like that one, I like this one, the best deal you're going to get is buying this multi-buy option, the show option. If you like 4 of the designs, you might as well go for it because you're getting 4 at that price, 2 for free. They've only been launched today and we're already giving you that great saving that we do here. And it's, of course, double points as it's our anniversary week, Club Inspire. You can get double points on all your purchases until Thursday, 2nd September. So you're wanting these, today is the day to get them.
So I started off with the light colour, then I went to my mid colour, which is Parakeet in our range. But you can use any of your, your inks that stay wet. And then just gone back to the lighter colour. Can you see where I've got like quite a definite line here where I've gone from one colour to the other? Go back to your light one and blend into it. And it'll take away that harsh line and give you that blended effect. Can you see how it's taken it away now? And then once you're happy with the colour level on there, just get rid of all the bits and pieces. We'll have a little clean up, and then I'm going to take a soft cloth this time, which just happens to be my my beloved dirty one there, but it wants to be soft. The tissue paper's got a pattern in it, and sometimes it can rag it on the embossing. So something nice and soft. And all I'm going to do now is literally buff over the top of it, and it will actually bring up those snowflakes white again. Okay.
Gorgeous. So simple.
They show through, and it's a lovely technique to do. And I think this one in particular with the snowflakes really lends itself. But can you see how they've come up nice and white again through that inked background? Now, if you inked first and then did the snowflakes, you would have to make sure that you'd got a really nice solid white embossing powder over it. But what I find is if I ink first, no matter how long I leave it to dry, and I think, oh, the background's dry, I then do the inking over the top, and you can guarantee that some of the ink in the background will attract the embossing powder, so you end up with like a blurred image. Whereas this way, doing the actual embossing first, you get that gorgeous background. And if I just tilt that slightly, you can see how the embossing's picked up that lovely sheen. Okay, gorgeous. So again, I have done just that at home, exactly the same. In fact, I think we've got a little bit darker shading on this one, and I've just matted and layered it, just a tiny, tiny border around it, just to offset the colour. And I'm actually going to I'm going to remember my ribbon. I'm known for forgetting I get that giddy, George, that I usually forget to put my ribbon on. But on this particular one, I want a piece of ribbon to just go across that long edge. So I'm going to pop a little bit there. Take it round the front, and just as an extra little piece of design, and we're actually going to make a gift box with this one.
Okay.
So I wanted to show you, sort of different ways, including not just, it's not just for cards. So this one's actually going to go on the top of my box that I've made here, like so. All right, so we'll get that one stuck down because we've finished what we need to do on there. So again, most of the background cardstock that I've used is Miri card, because with it being Christmas, it's nice to have a little bit of sort of sheen and sparkle going on. So just different colours from different packs of the Miri card in the background there, or the satin Miri card. And that one's just going to sit on the top. I'm not going to worry about the sides too much. You could do extra strips and do the same technique so that you've got strips for the sides if you wish, but I'm just going to leave mine as that. And then we need to come to that main focal point. So again, little bit of tape on there to keep it in place. All right, you can see how mine's actually got the blue staining on it. I've obviously not cleaned this one as well as I thought, to be honest. And again, we'll take one of the finger daubers this time. You could use the larger tool, but I'm going to go in with the finger dauber there. And this is actually Lagoon, which is the darkest one. Lush colour in the turquoise range. I love this sort of turquoise and teal shade. So again, loading up that dauber, and I'm literally going to do the same. So pushing that ink through here.
Wow, that's vibrant, isn't it?
It's beautiful, and because they're all the same colour family, the way our inks have been designed, you know that this is going to blend perfectly with that background we've just made, because we use the two lighter shades of the same colour family in the background, and then bring in this dark one as the focal point. So you've not got to worry about mixing and, you know, matching and finding ones that go together. You may want to do a complete contrast, you know, so if you look at your colour wheel and look at the different colour spectrums on there, you know, sort of blue is opposite orange on the colour wheel, so those two actually complement each other quite well. So depends how you want to do it. You know, we've all got different ideas, but really push that through. And then someone was mentioning earlier about adding the embossing powder onto the colours, George.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to do this time.
Great.
Because I've used the opaque inks, they're actually going to stay wet long enough for me to fish my spoon out of here. And we're actually going to put clear embossing powder on this one. So again, I'm going to take off the stencil. And just look.
Wow,
Isn't
that's
it gorgeous?
so clean, crisp.
I love that. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So again, get rid of the inked one. And then literally, this is clear embossing powder this time. Now, I didn't use the anti-static one on it because mainly with the clear, you don't tend to notice those speckles as much.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to die cut this one.
Right.
So I'm going to put the lid on there so that we don't have any accidents with that blowing around. And then just fetch the heat tool up again, and we just need to melt that embossing powder. So same again, make sure that your heat tool's up to temperature, because the minute you hold it onto the card and the heat starts penetrating the cardstock, that's when you get that warping. So really you want your heat tool over the card as little as possible. So the hotter it is to start with, and then again, if I do this one, I'm just going to heat this one from underneath, because you'll see the actual effect better with the darker colour. If I'm over the top, obviously that gets in the way. So literally, I'm going to start here. Just takes a second or two longer because the heat's got to get through the card.
Boom.
But you'll actually see it go from that frosty shade.
Yeah.
Can you see that lovely
of course.
turquoise coming back through? I just love it.
Stunning. What a great bit
As
of
I say, I
magic
never
this is.
ever get tired of doing this. I think it's lovely. And if you haven't tried it, you know, minimal things, as long as you've got your heat tool. And again, it doesn't matter. You know, a lot of people use the directional heat tool for the heat embossing, which is the noisier one. Absolutely fine. It's just my preference. I get on with this little one, and I've used it for years and years and years. I think it's about 20-year-old, and it's never let me down yet.
Touch wood.
Touch wood, she says. That was
You know what,
tempting fate a bit,
absolutely.
wasn't it? Yeah, but you can see there, as soon as it's finished, literally come away from it, and you've got now that lovely sort of glassy tile effect on there, look. Yeah, absolutely stunning. So again, we could bring this back to our box and we could carry on with how we'd got it there. But why not bring in some of your dies at this point? And just by cutting it out with a die, just look how different it looks there. Actually cutting it out with one of the dies. Now this is actually the stitched flower from our nesting die range that I just happened to have at the side of the desk, and I thought actually that lends itself to that shape beautifully.
Absolutely.
So I think that was the largest one in the set of those.
It
And we're
fits
literally,
perfectly.
we're going to use that now as a topper on the box. So we'll stick that one flat. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that double-sided tape, and I'm also, just for insurance purpose, going to add a bit of wet glue around the outside. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going on to an inked embossed surface here. It just gives it that little bit of extra grip. And we're going to go with that one. Ooh, straight, not straight. Oh dear, we'll go with it like that.
Decisions on these
Such big
ones.
Decisions on a Sunday.
I know.
Heck.
Elizabeth on YouTube, I'm going to have to break down and get these. Love the purple bells. I'm such a sucker for purple bells and all things Crafter's Companion. She's bought them. She's had to get them, and I'm
She's
not
had to
surprised.
get them.
At that price, she's had to get them
They
today.
are a nice affordable price,
Yeah.
and I love the fact that you're going to get double points on them as well.
Absolutely.
So for that anniversary die, we've got those double points on. And then again, just out of the same range of stamps there, we've got Winter Wishes, which lent itself perfectly to this one. So I'm going to pop that one. That's on some little foam pads, just to give a bit of dimension. And you could add a nice bow on here. If you're going to pop a gift in it, you could add a gift tag to it. But I'm just going to offset that on there like so. And then the last thing we need to do is take the liner off that tape, pop the box together, and then I've made the bottom half of the box in the turquoise to contrast that box there. So that's going to be the top. And I always get to this point and think, have I got on the right way around, George? Because I once made one and it was like, we decided to call it a, what was it? It was an inverted box because I ended up with the lid smaller than the actual bottom.
I think that was with me, that.
But have confidence, Jan, here we go. We're in, look, there we go, yeah. So I've actually made the base in the turquoise to match. And if I turn that round for you, again, lovely gift box for you to pop some nice sort of wintry prezzies in there or Christmas prezzies. And again, I chose the blue because I like the blue with the snowflakes, but can be done in any colour there.
Absolutely. Like you say, it's perfect, not just for Christmas, for your winter birthdays or winter celebrations, whatever you have. Such a great stencil. It's part of our Christmas stencil 6-piece collection. There's 6 designs within this collection. Amazing designs. You've got the wonderful bells are ringing. You've got the holly sprigs, the perfect poinsettias, oak Christmas tree, splendid snowflakes, and baubles and stars. You've seen it all there. They look gorgeous, absolutely stunning. At that price, it works out you're getting 4, 2 for free. There's 6 in there. There's foreground image and the background image. They can be yours today. Remember, they can buy them individually as well, or there's the multi-buy option of 2 for £9 or $12. Right. Listen, we've got loads happening. What else have we got? We've got Cosmic Shimmer in this show. A lot of you looking at it. You've got the Craquelure glaze ×2 in here. You get the fine crack. £5, $8.99, platinum price, £4, $7.19. You get that double points as well, nothing like that. And then you've also got the Cosmic Shimmer Clear Matte Finish Glaze, 50 millilitres in each bottle, £4.25, $7.99. Oh, that wonderful platinum price, wow, look at that platinum. £3.40 and $6.39. Then you've got the Crackle Glaze, crackle, crackle, crackle. We all like it, we love it. It's £4.25, $7.99. And we've also got the platinum price, £3.40 and $6.39. And what about Pearl, Shimmer Pearl? Ooh, Shimmer Pearl. There, I don't know what the voice is. You can get that today for that wonderful price there, £4.25 or $7.99. There we've got this matte glue seal and glaze. This £4.75, $8.99, and that incredible platinum price. And as well, you've also got the Cosmic Shimmer Clear Varnish Lacquer, £3.25, $5.99. That platinum price under £3. Are you joking me? What a bargain. What a bargain. Now as well, it is Sunday, can you tell? We're losing the plot. It's Second Chance Sunday tonight at 7 p.m, 2 p.m. East Coast time with myself and the lovely Jan. Loads of deals, and also it's our last day to get your Get It Got It good deal. Yes, let me show you. It's Sarah's, oh, she'll kill me for that. She will kill me. It's Sarah's signature garden pot. Nobody tell her, all right? Just don't tell her. You get a wonderful garden party in this. It's a great collection. We all love garden party. In this deal, in the Get It Got It good deal, you've also got this incredible. What just fell out of it? Oh, it's the card. Just fell out. I don't know what happened. You've got this great paper pad in here. You get the wonderful 12 by 12 paper pad, 24 sheets in here. As always, these beautiful colours, these pastel blues. You've also got the wonderful oranges and pinks, that lovely shimmer on it. Can you see that shimmer? Gorgeous. That's in there, the yellow and the green as well. You get that. It also comes in here with a vintage birdcage what's the word? Edgeable die. Thank you very much, George. You're a clever man. With the stamps as well. And you've also got the ornate lace. Again, edgeable die as well in there. And stencils in this as well. You've got some great stencils. You have got this beautiful stencil here. The, what makes it called? The delicate doilies. I said it right, not dollies. And you've also got the wonderful Happy Summertime stamps as well. That incredible price for £35, $40. It's your last chance today to get that deal at that incredible price. So, are you ready for another demo, boys and girls at home? I think you are. Jan, what are you making for us next?
We're bringing the big guns out now, George. Seeing as you've just been talking about the mixed media elements that we've got on the show, I thought we'd have a use of some of these to have a play with. So we're going to use some of the chalk polish.
Yeah.
And I've also got a bit that I did earlier with the metallic gilding polish as well. So these are Cosmic Shimmer products, and I've actually used the Honeydew matte chalk paint, and I'm going to use this one through the stencil. And then I've also done one ready for you to have a look at with the gilding polish, which is applied in exactly the same way as what the chalk polish is. So let me show you what I mean. And I'm going to use the holly sprigs for this one.
Oh, I like the holly sprigs. I think they're my favourite.
Yeah, they're nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, we're going to sort of slightly different. So I've got a bigger piece this time. You can see that my stencil's only 5 by 7, but they are repeating patterns. So I'm going to show you how we simply just move it across there in order to get that continuation of pattern. So again, back to the basics. So I'm going to take it, because the stencils, if you don't know, you can see here, they've got like a border all the way around them, so that when you ink in the 5 by 7 piece, you've got sort of like a blank edge. Now, because this is going to be an all over print, I'm just going to move it so that that stencil's slightly off I want the pattern to go right off the edge of the card. So rather than lining it up with the edge this time, I've just literally let it overlap a fraction. Literally only sort of a couple of millimetres. And then again, pop that little hinge on there. And again, if you're worried about this side, mask it off with something, whether it be sticky notes or some masking tape, so that you don't damage this side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chalk polish. Now, these actually come with their own applicator, but I found when I was trying this at home that this was a bit big for what I wanted to use. So I'm actually going to swap to one of our sponge applicators, which you can see there's quite a difference in size there.
Yeah.
And again, it will work in just the same way. So what I'm going to do is take this out. If you haven't seen these before, they're like a creamy moussey texture, but they've got the most gorgeous chalk finish. It is actually, with it when it's wet in there, it looks shiny, but when it dries, it's got that real matte finish to it, and it dries really quickly with it being sort of chalk finish on it. So let me just borrow one of those blending tools, and we're literally going to pop that one onto there. And because this has dried since I last used it, I'm just first of all just going to pop a tiny bit of water on there, just to work into there and actually reawaken some of that product that's already on there. And then literally I'm going to take my product out of here, so literally scrape it to the edge of the jar here and get it onto your applicator, and then manipulate it into the sponge there, so that you've got this actually saturated with the product. So again, I keep cleaning up and using all my tissue, so I just want another piece of that to hold onto. And then again, I'm going to start and literally just treat this like an ink. All right, it will just push through your stencil, and because it's it's meant to be, as I say, it's called a chalk polish.
Yep.
But it works just like an ink does. And again, when we get to this edge here, I've just tilted my applicator slightly to try and avoid coming across the edge of the stencil. So I'm actually pushing it in this way rather than flat. And again, just get through all of that stencil here. Again, just keep adding and pushing it into your applicator. I'm going to turn this round now so that we can do the other part here. And again, I'm going to just tip it on its side there.
Yeah.
You can see there, just so that I'm using the edge of it there, and that flat's not going to jump over, because we're going to move the stencil along in a minute and line it up so that we can do the other half of the cardstock as well. So again, just moving this down a little bit to hold it in place. Okay, a little bit more product out of there. Work it into that sponge, and then again, just to finish off that last part of the stencil. Now the chalk polishes do come in different colours, so if you wanted to do that technique where you added a different shade and sort of do like an ombre or the corners like I did on the purple one, absolutely fine. They're all sort of interchangeable, all the techniques that I'm showing you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to release this one, but just look how pretty we've got going on under there now. It's lovely and delicate, this one. It's a really light sort of leaf green shade. So I want to take this off the back gently.
You don't have to seal it or anything. Eve B is asking, you don't have to seal the chalk or anything?
Not at all.
Rub off or anything?
No, absolutely. And as I say, it dries fairly quickly. It's not quite there. just a little bit, but it's dry enough for me to do what I want to do. So because this is a repeating pattern now, I can actually lay this back down over where I've just stenciled and find my pattern, and I've lined this last edge up and then tuck this round the back again, and we can finish this off now. And you can do, you know, if you wanted to create this on a background to a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, you could do just that. All right, now the reason I'm tapping it off on here, I nearly did it then, I nearly went straight from the pot into the stencil. If you've got excess product on here and you push it in, it sometimes seeps under the stencil, so it's better just working it into the sponge applicator to avoid that happening. And again, just take it over all those areas. And I'm going really quickly here. You've got plenty of time to actually make sure that this is all covered nicely and get that finish.
Should be in the Paralympics.
I just want to show you as much as I can when I bring them to air for you. And again, that's that one finished with.
Well, everyone's loving your demo today. Don't forget as well, Jan, we've got to do demo of the show. I don't know how we're going to choose. I don't know on earth how we're going to choose.
There's another one to come yet. If we can manage to fit the last one in.
I think we will, Joe. And we've got to do demo of the day later on and demo of the week. And some of these demos are stunning as well. There's loads here. I don't know what's going to win today.
So again, all the Cosmic Shimmer, well, I'm saying all, the majority of the Cosmic Shimmer products are water-based. So everything cleans up with a little spray of water. I've just got a little bit of a smudge here because I was a bit eager to see whether it was dry.
Yeah.
But you can see how we've covered that's not 5 by 7, okay? And then what I've done with that, we're going to actually make this one into a shaker element. So I've actually taken one of my inverted nesting dies this time, and I've done exactly the same. I've added a little bit of darker ink just to bring that edge in, and then I've cut an aperture into here that's going to be my window for shaker. All right, so started out here and then just added a little bit of ink around the edge, couple of gems, and then cut in this shape into to make the window. So I've got a piece of acetate that we need to put behind that little window, and I've just prepped that with a bit of red liner tape, and we're just going to secure that behind it so that we can make sure that those shaker pieces don't escape. So this is going to go on the reverse, and then I've put some shaker foam tape around the outside edge. But just a little trick when you're doing anything like this is to put all your shaker pieces in here now. You've got a lot of area that isn't showing. So I want to contain them in this area here. So I'm going to add a second piece of tape sort of across the top of here and down the side, just so that when I put my shaker pieces in, they're actually contained in that area just there, rather than shaking all over the card where you can't see them now. So I'm going to make sure that they're all concentrated in this bit here, okay? So that's my background.
I've got a question for you. Back to, quickly, just going back to the chalk polish. Lee on YouTube, Lee Rugg. I'm trying to understand the purpose of a chalk polish versus ink. I love the idea of working with different mediums, but what is the difference ultimately?
Just the finish. Yeah. Just the finish. The inks are not chalk inks. Not our, well, I say that our range of inks aren't chalk inks. So you get a different finish. This is actually, it's giving you a similar look because yes, you could do this with one of the green inks, but you get that lovely chalky finish on it, which is a different finish altogether to the inks, and they do tend to be quite pastel in tone as well. But again, it's just another medium for you to try if you want to. You know, I'm not saying you've got to use it. If you're happy with your inks, you could do this technique that I'm going to do here with your inks, and it would work out exactly the same.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's just a choice for you to try if you wish.
Great.
Okay, and then as far as the actual background, I'm going to jump a little bit now. We've got that gorgeous holly sprig there with the berries. It's beautiful. So exactly the same with the metallic chalk polish. You've got that applicator in the top here. All right, again, I went down to the sponge applicator because it was a little bit easier to manage rather than that big area. And in here, this one's like a mousse. but it is literally absolutely gorgeous. And you get such a lot in these. They don't look a massive jar, but you use so little of it. And what this is going to give you is this kind of effect. You can see here where I've had the stencil over the top here.
Yeah.
And I've used it on my applicator, just like I did with the chalk polish, but used one for the fern green. Popped it through the stencil, but you've got that lovely, look at the finish on that.
Absolutely.
Now that you're not going to get that with your inks unless you emboss them.
Absolutely. Someone's asked me, do the pots dry out quick? Because obviously you say you don't get much there, but it goes a long way and lasts you a while. If it's looked after, is it going to last a long time?
It is, yeah. There's no reason why this should dry out. The seals on them are airtight. The only reason it would dry out is if you left it out for any length of time. But if it does start drying, don't forget it's water-based. So anything that's water-based, a little tiny bit on the end of a teaspoon of warm water on the top, put your lid on to seal it, and you'll find it will almost hydrate itself if it does happen to start drying. But these are airtight. I've had some of these years. Before I started using them here at Crafters, I've used these in my own crafting, and I've had them years and they're still good to go. If the applicator starts to dry out, obviously it will dry when the product's not being used. Again, just like I did with the other one, little bit of water, and then just work that water into your sponge, and it's good to go again to pick up your product. And again, that's once that's in the top of your jar, it's all airtight, so this should last a long time.
Great stuff. Thank you, Jan.
Right, so just to show you a couple of different ideas, I've also brought with me the Frosted Jade Pearl texture paste. So this differs to the ones that we've just used in the fact that it holds its shape. So again, we've got polishes here. So this one was a little bit like paint in a form of a polish. So we've got the chalk one and the metallic one. This one's actually, anything that says texture paste or structure paste or anything like that holds its shape. It's got a binder in it that allows it to hold its shape. So when we use that one through the stencil, I don't know whether you can see the difference or not. But this one's smooth. When I run my finger over it, it's flat against the card. This one's actually got the depth of the stencil. Now, they're only millimetres thick. But you can just see how this is slightly raised on there.
I like
and
that,
again,
Jan.
that's the pearl luster one. And there's lots of different colours. I just picked the greens out with using the holly. So again, this one I would apply with my palette knife, and just, you've seen me do it where we've like buttered our bread, dragging it through the stencils. But obviously, wet products like this need to dry. So I have done these ahead of time, and this is what I ended up with. Now, what I wanted to do for this one, we've worked with lots of toppers so far. But if you then start with your little snips, and I've just taken my snips and fussy cut. I've split them into two pieces. So I've got the smaller cluster and the larger cluster. And then I've added some of the pearl accents in a red there just for the holly berries. And you've got actual embellishments now. So that was the one with the texture paste, which was this one, which is slightly raised on the finish. And then I did exactly the same with the metallic gilding polish, which was this one. And I've cut these out and done the same treatment. So just a few little pearl accents just to add. You could add little gems on there if you've got red gems, but it gives you something there to work with now that's different than just literally popping it on as a topper. So that's where I wanted to try and get to show you different ideas with it.
With that shine, Evelyn's asked on Facebook, do you have to buff to get the shine, or does that shine just come?
Just happens automatically, Because this one's metallic, you're always going to get that sheen. So anything that says metallic gilding polish, and again, lots of different colours in the range. If you have a look on the website, there's loads of different ones. I just chose the green, obviously, for the holly. And then the texture paste, again, this is a pearlised one. You can get ones that aren't pearl, that dry with a matte finish, but the pearlised one will always dry with that lovely sheen on it that it's got there. Okay, so again, it depends which type of product you're using. Going back to the original chalk polish, this one's dried perfectly flat. There's no shimmer to it whatsoever because it's got that chalk element to it. So different products for different jobs. What I wanted to do was combine them all on that one card for you, because I simply don't have enough time to demo them all on something different. So let's go to the card then. I've made myself a really nice big sort of 7 3/4 inch card, which will fit in an 8-inch square envelope. I've done a little bit of matting and layering, and the one of these that I was practicing on at home, I've just cut a square out because I want that same pattern behind here when I've put my shaker elements in.
Yeah.
Now, when I was practicing, my stencil had actually got some ink left over that I'd been having to go out just with the inks. So with the chalk polish and the ink match, can you just see how there's a slight shade difference there?
Yeah, it's nice though.
And that's all it is. It was one of those happy accidents where I'd not cleaned the stencil properly and it dragged some of the ink from the stencil into the chalk polish, and I've just got light, which I quite like because behind here it offsets that sort of dimension on it. Okay, so what we need to do then first, let me just, before we actually pop this together, I've also used those nesting dies to make a little frame here that's just going to outline to make that bit more definite. So let's pop that one on first, and I'll do that with a little bit of tacky glue there. And these are the inverted nesting dies. So this was the same size as I've used for the aperture. I've just used the plain square to actually cut an outside element of this as well to make the frame. The one on the cardstock here, I just used the actual inside bit, if that makes sense. Those of you that have got the nesting dies will know what I'm talking about with that. So this one's going to line up just to give me a bit more detail and tie it in with the cardstock that I've matted and laid. And this is our Christmas green Centura Pearl. It's a really nice shade of green here.
Love that. Sherry on Facebook. Good morning, Jan and George and CCTV. Jan, I love how you explain things to us. You are so talented. Yes, you are. Look, I love this card. I think this is my favourite, Jan, this one.
Oh, there's another one to come yet.
I know, I can't wait.
The last one's home decor. Because again, I wanted you to think outside the box, not necessarily just for card making, but you can use your stencils for home decor as well.
Perfect.
So I've sort of tried to go through, you know, the degrees of not difficulty, because none of it's difficult, but sort of advancing as we've gone along.
Yeah.
Right, so I've got that one at the ready, and then I've got a bag full, which seems to be escaping bits, because I keep getting bits flying about.
I thought you were melting.
But I've just got
the green everywhere. Look at that.
I'm just going to pop now then, because my shaker tape is around the square here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put now, two schools of thought with this. I've seen people put all the shaker elements in here, which is great, but then you've got to try and line this up without seeing it, and I can't do that. I don't know about you guys, I can't do it, I will admit to that. So I tend to put this one down and put my shaker pieces on here. So I've just got some nice green ones that are going to go, and we don't need them all. I'll stick that back up again in a second. Just make sure that they're all in sort of the space where you're going to have the gap. And then now, I might need you to talk in a minute, George.
Okay, you can concentrate.
Because this, no, it's not concentrating. It's just hang on a minute. The foam tape sometimes decides it's not going to play. So just we're all right so far. That's 2. I've got 6 pieces. So 2.
Well, while you're doing that, I've got Beth Fralick on YouTube. She keeps counting down how many days till Joe returns. She's put 8 days, 192 hours, 11,520 minutes, 691,200 seconds until my sexy, handsome Joe returns.
They were all very upset on Monday when he said it was his last day for a few days.
Well, I'm sorry, Beth, I'm not Joe. If I grow a beard, maybe I look a bit like Joe. I don't know. I don't know, you decide. I'm sorry, Beth. I'm sorry I'm not Joe. But he misses you. He misses you all. He sends his love. And the lovely Judy on Facebook. Thanks for that info, Jan. One of the many reasons you're so great. Again, loads of comments. Remember, if you have commented on today's show, not even if I've read it out, if I haven't read it out, don't worry. You'll still, in fact, chance to win that amazing prize giveaway that we're giving away at the end of the show, the Spectrum Noir. How has it done, Jan?
We're there.
It's behaved for you.
We've done it, we've behaved. And then I'm just for insurance, because I don't want those shaker pieces to escape, I'm just going to go in with my tacky glue.
Yeah.
Because some of this foam tape has been sat in my drawer a while, and I think that's sometimes where I struggle with the backing tape.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pop a little bit of wet glue over the top to make sure I get a good seal against the foil cardstock underneath. So I've got a matte layer of the Centura Pearl Green, and then I've just chosen some of the matte Mirri from our Silver Luxury card just to add another layer there. And then we're going to line this one up just to leave a border there. And then we've got all those lovely shaker pieces, which I'm just going to let that glue set before I start shaking it. I once did this, George, and picked it up and shook it, and off they went. So we'll just learn from it. See, I don't get it right every time, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I have some spectacular accidents sometimes.
Was that one of the most spectacular, would you say?
I think the most spectacular one was the aqua tint inks. Did you not hear that one?
No, I've not heard.
No. It was before my daughter had baby Toby.
Right.
She was still pregnant, and obviously we were awaiting grandchild. And I was working at home doing some prep with one of the red aqua tint inks. And I'd got it all sorted, and I don't know how I managed it, but I knocked the pot of ink. Now, bearing in mind, the pots of ink are this big, you wouldn't believe how far it went.
Yeah.
But it knocked this way. So I ended up with it all down me, all over my lap, all over the floor. And I had to take a photo of it. And I messaged my daughter. I said, I think I've just had the baby instead. It looked like a massacre, honestly. And I'm thinking, where do I go? I didn't know where to start clearing it up. There was that much. It was all over the table. It was dripping onto the floor. But having said that, it was all water-based. And the majority of it all cleaned up and washed out. So, yeah, good testimony for the product.
Yeah.
Right, so I've done a little bit of a sentiment that we're going to pop at the top here, and we're just going to pop that one on flat, and then I'm going to use those pieces of holly that we've fussy cut to use as embellishment. So I'm going to go with a piece of the dark green, and we're going to have this one, and then I'm going to go with the one that's got the texture paste on as well, just to add some dimension. So I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue just so that that's going to get an instant stick. Whoops, what's going off there?
Was it turned on?
It's turned on, yeah, the glue stick was trying to escape, I think.
I love glue sticks. I don't know what it is about glue guns, like one of my favourite things to use.
So this one's going to go just at an angle here, and I've tried to keep the glue away from the acetate. Again, note to self, don't put hot glue on acetate unless it's heat resistant acetate. And why does Jan know this? Because she's done it and burnt a hole in the acetate.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yeah, you know, I'm not afraid to tell you of my mistakes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can learn from them. But yeah, I do have some good ones from time to time. I'm one of those people that if I'm going to do it, you may as well do it in style.
Absolutely. I've burnt
That's my
fingers.
argument.
I burnt my fingers on the glue gun. I'm still recovering from I was building something, and I got glue on the end of my fingers, and I just went, oh, that's on there, and I just didn't think...
You do it as a reaction,
yeah,
don't
you
you?
went, oh. I just didn't think quick enough, so I've just got like no fingerprints on the top bit of my finger at the minute.
That's why they always say crafters make the best thieves, George.
Yes, because you've got no fingerprints.
Got no fingerprints left because of the flipping glue gun. So I don't know whether we actually need... Do you think it needs another one at the bottom there? No, maybe just one of them. I think two of them is going to be too cluttered.
Yeah, I like that there.
But I think
corner.
maybe just that one at the bottom, shall we? Just to offset it. And I like the texture paste one because we've got a lot of darker green with that matting and layering going on. So if we use the lighter green of the texture paste there.
Oh, you guys, you're nice to me. You saying we love you. Thank you. I was only joking.
Of course we do.
I was only joking with you guys.
Of course we do.
You mischievous.
So if I pop you that one round then, we're okay to shake now. We've got our shake going on. And just a completely different way to use those stencils. You know, we started out at the top of the show with a basic background and a topper, but just taking it to that next level if you wish, if that's where you're at with your crafting.
Absolutely. Listen, we've got to do a demo of the show very, very shortly. We've got one more down to come, but that's going to be a great contender. But if you are just joining us, welcome. It is our launch day here and our second anniversary week at Crafters TV, and we're launching these brand new Christmas stencils. 6 designs within here, 12 altogether in the foreground and the background, and some great designs. Look at what we've got here. We're starting first with the Bells Are Ringing, a great little collection here, and then we've also got the Holly Sprigs. We've just seen Jan using there, and that creating that beautiful card. It is stunning, that one. We absolutely love that. You've also got the perfect poinsettias. There we are as well, and then you've also got this beautiful Christmas tree. So simple but elegant as well. Then you've got the splendid snowflakes. Again, Jan's done some brilliant demos with these today. And you've also got the baubles and stars. A great collection at an amazing price. It's $23.96, $31.80. At that price, it is a launch day, but we're still giving you option here, because you buy 4, you're getting 2 for free. That's what that price works out at today. And remember, you've got to buy the individual options and the multi-buy option. You buy 2 for £9 or £12. Listen, check out your baskets and we will see you on the other side. And remember, if you're in the USA, we've got some news information about our shipping.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Oh, welcome back here. Listen, we're having a great day. Beth's been back in touch. All right, Joe's biggest fan. She put, George, oh, you are wonderful. Joe has my heart. I'm enjoying you being here, my duck. I'm guessing you're from the Derbyshire end if you're calling me my duck. I'm back on Wednesday, Beth, after this evening. So if you want to put a countdown on for me, that'd be perfect. Loads happening today on this brilliant launch day. These beautiful stencils that you guys are loving. Remember, and there's loads of wonderful deals as well. We've got the polishers, we've got the waxes, we've got brushes as well. Some great deals on brushes. Your crackling things as well. Loads of stuff, inks, and honestly, there's so much stuff in this show. Check the website, head there, crafterscompanion.com.uk.eu, have a look at what we've got in the show. We've got time for one more demo to see these beautiful stencils in action. But listen, we haven't forgot about and we haven't forgot about our winner. Don't you worry. Jan, what have you got for us next?
To try and get this one in because we've moved on again. I've sort of tried to go through the show from sort of starting off with the very basic concept and then showing you different ways and sort of advancing through it, and we're going to finish off with a piece of home decor because again, you know, we all like our card making, we all need boxes and bags for gifts and things like that, but again, taking it to that level, if you want to actually display your pieces at home or if you want to gift them to people, just making it into a home decor item. And again, this is the one I said earlier that I was going to start and use some of my pens on, and I just thought I'll have a go. I didn't know, I was a bit tongue-in-cheek as to whether it was going to work, but it actually looks okay. So again, we've just got a smaller piece this time, and I'm going to use the background stencil. And again, this is another one of those that, you know, could be quite generic. It's not specifically Christmas. It's got stars on it, and then it's got like that wider double-edged star. So again, you know, it could be used as a birthday celebration background. And I like the fact that there are elements in there that have got that extra value to them. So it's not just something that you get out at Christmas and that you've got to use for your Christmas cards. So a slightly smaller piece this time. I think we were just 5 inches square on this one. Exactly the same procedure. So just to pop this in place. And I wanted the background to be fairly neutral this time so that we can actually work over the top. And we're going to design over the top of the background, which is something I haven't done yet. I've always added the focal image as an extra piece. This time we're going to work over the top of the actual background. So I've just gone for Pumice, which is quite a light shade in the inks. And again, using those foam applicators, and we're going to apply that to part of it, and then I'm going to add a little bit of green in as well. So again, loading up that applicator, and I'm going to do sort of a line across one corner. And this is a really natural sort of, well, it's very aptly named, the Pumice colour. It's like a stone colour. I like this for backgrounds. It's sort of quite, if you want a background that literally recedes into the background, it's a great one for it. So again, I'm still using the opaque inks because they're my go-to inks. You could do this with your water reactive inks. You could do this element of it with your quick dry inks as well. Okay, because at the end of the day, you want it to dry. So I've literally just gone a band across the corners, and I'm not even going to re-ink my green one. I'm just going to use the residue of what's on here. I don't want it to be too dark, but I just wanted to add a little bit more colour than just that plain sort of brown from the Pumice. So again, just down that centre panel, I'm only putting light pressure on this time because I don't want any of it to be too dark, because we're going to work over the top of it. So when you have a look in there, we've just got a really nice faint background this time, instead of it being sort of too sort of in your face kind of thing. So get rid of that one, just clean up all the ink off there, and then I'm going to work directly onto this panel this time. Now, I was looking somewhere in the midst of my craft room. I have got our Spectrum Noir fine liners in the colours. Can I find them? Can't find them anywhere. So I've had to improvise, and I do apologise because they're not a Crafters Companion brand, but I've actually got some at home that are just literally a really fine tip pen, and they're going to do the same job. All right, but if you've got the fine liners, then they will do the same idea. So what I'm going to do is position this where I want it to go. And on this occasion, we're going to work straight onto the background. So we're not going to do it on a separate piece. So again, I'm going to pop that in place so that I know it's in situ. And then we're going to take some of these, and literally, I was just sat thinking, used to love stenciling when I was a kid. So I'm literally going to do that. I'm going to use that stencil, and I'm going to draw the detail in. Through the stencil. Now, it does take a little bit of time, but it's worth it. The end product, I thought, oh yeah, I like it. Absolutely. And I like the fact that there's a little tiny bit of the ink actually shows through as well when we're finished. Yeah. So just taking your time, choose your colours, hold the stencil in place.
I think it's this show today has changed a lot of people's minds on stencils and how they can be used. Sue on YouTube, she says the exact same thing. These demos have changed my mind about stencils. I think that has been for a lot of people. I'd like you shown today, Jan, all the different techniques, all the different ways you can use this, even taking it back to basics, like you have here, with the pens here to create this beautiful stencil effect.
Actually, you know, as I say, I was just sat thinking, I thought I used to love playing with stencils, and I've got, you know, used to have the alphabet sets that you could spell out words and shapes and things. They were nowhere near as elaborate as this. But I just thought I'll have a go and see what happens. And as I say, I really liked the idea of it. So I'm just going to add some different colours in there. So we've got the top of the bauble.
Stephanie's asked a question, and just a curiosity. If you run the stencil and paper through your Gemini, does it emboss it? Or would
it does.
It does.
That was something else I wanted to try, George, but like I say, I can only fit so much into a 2-hour show. Yeah. But yes, they aren't particularly thick stencils, but you will still get an emboss feature out of them.
Is there
you will need
paper?
The rubber embossing mat is your key to that. Any of your cardstocks, you could use the Centura Pearl embosses beautifully. If you wanted to work with it on a plain white, then you can use the stamping card. But yeah, the secret is to put your embossing mat in your plate combination if you're using a Gemini, and take out your magnetic shim. Yeah. All right, so that's the process for it. And you want the mat so that it's underneath, so that the squishy mat will push the cardstock into your stencil. Lovely. So this will lay on top of the squishy embossing mat, so that when the pressure's applied with your machine, it's going to push this into the gaps in the stencil. So yes, absolutely correct. You can do that as well. So again, I've just got some different colours here.
I love this.
And I am literally just having a little bit of fun drawing. Now you could do this in a black if you wished and then add some colour inside it. I went for the coloured pens, and then what I've done on the sample that I've got made already is I chose some of my alcohol markers that were the same colours, and I've actually coloured them in. So we're going to pop some turquoise. I've just sort of stuck to 3 colours and then alternated them around the 3 baubles here. Now this would work with any of them. You know, you could have done the holly segments like this.
Yeah.
You could do it, it would look lovely on the bells with that decoration on the bells. So it would work with any of them. And then again, we've got that nice red's going to come in the middle here.
Gorgeous, simple idea. Beth's been back in touch. She has Joe's biggest fan. She's put, after today's show, we will have 3 days, 72 hours, 4,320 minutes, 259,200 seconds. So George is on again.
There you go, you see.
Actually, we're back on in 2 hours after today's show. So I'm back on. Sorry to ruin that for you. But yeah, oh, bless you, Beth. Love this though, Jan. Do you know what as well? These stencils can be used, kids can do this simply.
Absolutely.
Simple craft.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, I'm just going to add the purple one from the first one in the ribbon here, and then I'll show you the one I did at home. As I say, all I did was have a look in my vast collection of alcohol pens, as you do, and picked out some colours that actually matched the pens that I'd used here. So I think I ended up with the green turquoise for the turquoise bauble. I ended up with just purple for the purple one, and then I think it was the mid-tone of the red for the red bauble. But yeah, just this on its own was quite sort of retro effect, I thought. Here, look.
Oh,
look at that. So just to leave it like that is one option. I quite like that, and I was pleased with the result of it like that. But then when you take it to the level to add the colour in,
nice.
You know, however you want to go with it. So slightly darker with the green here. But as I say, all I've done was this far and then just added some. Because I know that my pens are not alcohol based, I could add the alcohol markers in here. If you're using a fine-tipped alcohol marker, then just go to maybe a crayon or a watercolour marker to fill in the gaps. But either way, whichever you know, this would look just as nice as your topper if you wanted to leave it open. But I actually liked it with the colouring in there. So that's the stenciling part. And then you've seen me do this before now. I've talked you through the actual frames. And I demoed one on show. And then if you look back in the archive on YouTube, there was actually a craft along where we made this together. And I think it was with the Builder Bouquet stamp sets. So as far as the actual frame's concerned, I've put it all together ready because I didn't know how much time we were going to have left on the show. Just popped a piece of pattern paper from one of the paper pads in the background there, and then I've used that pumice just very, very lightly to add a bit of extra detail around the frame as well. And then I'm literally going to pop that piece in that we've just inked and add a few bits of decoration just to make a nice sort of gift that you could hang in your home. So this one I've put on foam pads again. Oh, my last challenge, look.
Here it comes.
The foam pads one. I'm getting better.
Smashing it.
I'm getting better. And I think the secret is some of the ones I was struggling with, I'd had quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling to get the backs off and I was getting so frustrated. But I must admit, more recently, I've had much more success with them. So because this is a home decor piece, and you know, there's a likelihood that it's going to be hung in a room that's maybe got central heating or something like that, just adding the little bit of wet glue on the back of your foam pads gives you that bit of extra insurance. So that one's going to go inside. It also gives you a tiny bit of wriggle room as well when you've got the wet glue on there. Okay. And then what I've done is I went through my die sets and just picked one out that had got foliage in it. And again, I've just cut loads of little fronds out of what was left over of the background paper and just stuck them onto a scrap piece of card. And this is going to go as if these are hung now from the branch. I didn't want to stick them straight on here. I wanted a separate piece. And again, just added some little gems. So all I'm going to do is add that one on to the top here, just to run it level with the top of the cardstock. Whoops. Ooh. Oh, my tweezers are, there we go.
Got caught in the branches.
Gosh, thought they were fighting back then.
They've revenged.
So I'm going to pop that one level there so that they just look as if those baubles are hung from the branch there. And then again with the glue gun, I've got a lovely piece of ribbon at the ready to pop on one side. So we're going to have this on the top corner up there.
Very
and
good.
Again, use your stamp sets. I've just gone for Merry Christmas simply with this one, just so that it was nice and straightforward. And I'm just going to pop that one along the bottom there. You know, what I haven't done with any of the demos is mix and match them. I'm just thinking now, you know, that sprigs of that holly would have been nice around that corner to offset the bow, you know. So don't think you've got to stick with one range. Now I've actually got a couple of little bits of extra embellishment, which I don't know whether to put in there. Yeah, I think we'll just have one of those in there just to go and see if I can get this to stick. Just to pin that corner, just to add a bit of extra detail there. And then I've got a couple of extra little gems that I'm just going to dot on either side there.
I think this is going to be a potential demo of the show, this one.
That's why I said there was another one.
I know. Love it.
There we go. So if I actually turn you that one round there, I think everything's stuck together. But yeah, you know, you could pop a bit of ribbon on the back of here and use this to hang up at Christmas, or you could gift it to someone. You know, you might want to put, if you do a from our house to yours, you might want to put a family name on it, something like that. But again, just another way to use those gorgeous stencils that we've got on there. So that's 5 for you.
Absolutely. Let's have a look.
6 in the set, George.
Yes.
But if you're coming back at 7 o'clock, I've got the poinsettias, and they are very dramatic. In Second Chance Sunday. It
is Second Chance Sunday. It's going to be a busy one. That's just in 2 hours' time. Right, let's do a demo of the show. We've got 5 demos that we've done in this one. It's been a busy one. Jan, let's have a look at all your demos that you've made for us today.
Clear all the debris to one side. So we started at the top of the show. They're nice and simple, keeping that background as a background and the topper as a topper. So that was number 1 with the Christmas tree. Okie dokes. And then we took it to a different size, using that stamped area when we masked out the area in size, and then different colours on the topper. So that was number 2 with the lilac bells. Number 3 was the gift box, where we did the resist technique with the white embossing powder and then inked over the top of it and then embossed that gorgeous snowflake on the front. Number 3. Number 4 was the shaker card with the mixed media products. So we had a look at the metallic gilding polish, the pearl texture paste and the chalk paint on that one, along with the shakers, is number 4. And number 5, we went home decor with number 5 with those lovely baubles.
It's going to be a close one this time.
I'll leave that all with you.
Few minutes of that one, guys. Get them in. Let's remind you what we're launching today. These beautiful Christmas stencils, the 6-piece collection. There's 6 designs in here. Jan's just shown you 5 demonstrations, 1 more to make. That's going to come in Second Chance Sunday in just under 2 hours' time. Let me go through the wonderful designs you get in here. You get the bells are ringing. As you see, you get the background stencil and you get that in middle stencil. So you get the background and the foreground item here. That's the bells are ringing. Then you've got the beautiful here. You've got the stunning sprigs of holly. Then you've got the perfect poinsettias, which I can't say. Then you've also got the beautiful Christmas tree, or if you're German, Tannenbaum. And you've got the splendid snowflakes and the baubles and stars there for you. They're coming in today, that incredible price, $23.96, $31.18. Remember, that price works out that you're getting 4 and 2 for free. It's launching today and we're already giving you savings on that. You can go buy them individually and you've also got that multi-buy option as well. Right, we've got inks for you as well. Some great deals here on the inks. The metallic liquid inks. Right, let me remind you on this brilliant deal that we've got for you on here. You're buying 6, you're paying for 6 and you're getting 4 for free. You're getting 10 colours all together. You're getting the antique bronze, ancient bronze, aged copper, burnished copper, green citrine, gold plate, pewter, rose gold, silver ingot and tarnished silver. So many colours on that one, and that amazing deal. You're paying for 6, you're getting 4 for free. Then we've also got some gilding wax today, a great collection here in the gilding wax. Again, more offers for you on the gilding wax. Remember, we are giving you away the deals. It's our anniversary week, so we're just giving you things things away today. You're paying for 4, you're getting 1 free. Yeah, you're getting the gold, King Gold, Antique Gold, Wax Gold, the Renaissance and Silver again. That incredible price that you'll see there, $47.96 or $67.96. Then we've got all these great offers for you today. Great collection here. We're bringing these in for you next. It's our wonderful Cosmic Silver, the chalk effect. You've seen it today and you've loved it. It's the Cosmic Shimmer Matte Chalk Paint, Honeysuckle, £3.75, $6.75. You've got the mulled wine, perfect for Christmas. There it is, absolute Glühwein if you're German. Then you've got the 55, here it is, the 55. Then you've got the perfect textured paste. Oh, I made myself chuckle, the deep red. There it comes, £8.25, $11.19. Then you've got some great colours here. Remember, head to the website if you want to see the full range. The Royal Gold. Then you've got this beautiful, great colour, this Cosmic Shimmer Pearl Tints, Burnt Caramel. That is stunning. $3.75, $6.75. Remember, it's our anniversary week here at Crafters TV. Myself and Jan are going to be back in just over 2 hours' time. And I've got your demo of the show. Can you guess?
Can I guess?
Go on. What are you going for?
I don't know because I like them all.
I'll give you a clue. It's number 5.
It's number 5, the home
Number
decor.
5
Save
was the
best for
winner.
last. Thank you very much.
Of course you will. Now, will that be demo of the day and then demo of the week? There's one way to find out. Is join myself and Jan, 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast for our Second Chance Sunday. It's huge. It's going to be a great Second Chance Sunday. And we've also got our prize giveaway. It's anniversary week. We're giving you away prizes. And today's winner of this incredible bundle of prizes, Spectrum Noir goodies. A lot of these products have been on sale on today's show. Is the wonderful Sherry Jessie. Yes, you are winning everything that you see. You get the inks, the gilding wax, the pads, the stampers, the misters. All you got to do, email here, prizes@crafterscompanion.com, and our team will get back. Well, can you believe it? We're at the end of our incredible launch date, and what an incredible launch date it has been. Remember, like I said, Second Chance Sunday coming up for you in just 2 hours' time. Jan, are you looking forward to it?
I am. I've got all sorts of different things. As I say, we've got that last stencil on there with the poinsettia, and then I've got lots of other goodies as well for you later.
Goodies indeed. You wait till you see us. Listen, check out those baskets. Hate for you to miss out on these brilliant stencils launching today. You'll be some of the first people in the world to get your hands on them. I'll see you in a little bit. Grab yourself a cuppa and maybe a little biscuit or two, and I'll see you then. Goodbye for now.